Whoa.
Whoa.
Hello, the game assassins.
Hello. Phantom's gonna show up 30 minutes late as normal.
Can't believe you had us listen to Wii U Trap Remix. I could listen to that Wii U Grooves album forever. It's so good.
Listen.
Yeah.
If you complain about trap remixes again, I'm gonna make Colin play the Groose Trap Remix every time we start the stream.
I'm gonna play the Nightcore. What do the kids listen to nowadays? Oh fuck! I'm so out of touch. I met the devil today, and he was listening to Wii U Menu Trap Remix. I don't even say it's a trap remix. It just has like some 808 slapped onto it.
I feel like if Purgatory is a place that exists, if it's actually some sort of spirit realm with a version of Purgatory, there's probably a lot of Wii music being played.
Oh hell yeah! Oh my god!
Oh, that sounds like a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah,
Miyamoto got into a car accident and had a near-death experience. So much so that he went into purgatory, but they managed to resuscitate him. But he was like, I've been to purgatory, and I know now what we must do. And the year was 2005.
It's like this movie is okay. This music's okay. You know, it's all right.
It's just jamming. It's jiving.
Yeah, I like it.
Wait, the
went on too long,
DWS show. It just got accepted into his first college yesterday. Hell yeah, gamer.
Make sure to tag this episode with WandaVision Episode 5 spoiler review and reaction. Just the algorithm.
Oh no. Oh no, cape shit. Oh no.
Let me tell you, obviously you are probably the two people on staff that probably care the least about it.
Yeah.
But like WandaVision actually has very little cape shit in it. It's actually I think probably because I was kind of like you guys know me. I've been into cape shit since I was a small person and cape shit didn't exist except for in comic books and occasionally on cartoons. But it's really fresh. Like their approach on it. There's very little like actual super heroics into it. It's weird sitcom stuff, a little Lynchian, but still safe because it's being done by Disney. But it's interesting. I think it's definitely the sort of thing the MCU needed because even I, who loves this, was kind of like, okay, we've seen Endgame. That seems like a good stopping point.
The only thing I know about WandaVision is that my friend, who is like a massive cinephile, their review of the first episode was, I think Legends of Tomorrow did it better.
The first two episodes though were done to establish like when you really watch the first five, and I'm not going to talk more about this because let's get going.
Yeah, please don't.
But I feel like they were done to establish a tone so that when it got into kind of the more unsettling, creepy stuff, because if you go straight into that, it's not that creepy. But when you establish the weird sitcom tone, the clash of tones works better, I think, in establishing what they wanted to do. Like I said, I really do feel like this is probably this is something that probably shouldn't be judged on it'll need to be judged when we see the whole thing, because so many shows are like that, really, especially when they try to set up some sort of central mystery, and all of a sudden you're all like, oh, this Lost show is intriguing, and then you're all like, what the hell do I care, and why do they keep introducing? I mean, and we all know that's very much a J.J. Abrams thing. It's like it's a mystery box, and instead of solving the mystery, we'll just put other layers of mystery on top of it. But
let's fucking make it up as we go. What can go wrong?
Exactly. Whereas this feels like there's definitely a through line to it. So I think this is what it needed. I think much like other things you don't care about, The Mandalorian, I feel like a reset was needed because everything was getting really stale from the cinematic perspective.
I care about The Mandalorian at least a little bit. Yeah, I watched like half the first season. I'm in with it. I understand.
I like it's kung fu, but it's not even kung fu. It's one of the old westerns. I think I can probably
Actually, you know what? I want to bring this up because I was thinking about this the other day. And it's been a hot minute since we talked about like movies and TV shows on Good Morning Source Gaming. But uh, you know, I was really looking forward to that Agent Carter show from years ago, from
Yeah.
fucking a decade ago or whatever. Oh hey, Phantom's here. Hello. I can turn on your icon now. But I was looking forward to that, and then I remember it being like a real boring piece of shit, and just being like absolutely devastated as to like why, even though Marvel had essentially a show idea that could have been potentially the best thing they've ever produced. And like, sure, it's a TV show and it had a low budget, but like the whole point of Agent Carter is that it probably didn't need a high budget because it was just supposed to be like a cool spy noir thing. And I was thinking about it, and then I remembered, oh yeah, they probably have like a rule book for how superheroes are supposed to be depicted and things they can and cannot do. And they probably have that same rule book apply to all of these different shows, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter. Because it would be...
Netflix was not part of that, though, because they had their own economy on it.
Wait, what?
I said Netflix...
Yeah,
had a lot
the
more
Netflix
autonomy.
shows were, like, adjacent, so they don't have to...
Yeah.
They didn't have to deal with any of that. But, like... the ABC shows, absolutely, because it would be really weird, despite the fact that the Avengers have a bunch of like Goombas with guns in like wearing suits on their payroll. They're not allowed to like run around and shoot random people, because it'd be really weird if like Tony Stark was like, "All right, I'm back from saving the world. What have you guys been up to?" And it's like, "Oh, we just like shot 30 people." Oh, don't do that.
Man, I'm just waiting for them to bring Nicolas Cage back.
They almost brought him back, or it was a consideration
They're,
in...
they're
Agents
leaving
of
it
S.H.I.E.L.D.
open. They're leaving it open.
Yeah. Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. brought in, like, young, hot, cool Ghost Rider. I don't-
They show the transformed Johnny Blaze, and he speaks with a very distorted voice, so it's still possible.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know. Yeah, I think Marvel in particular is tied to a specific tone, which I think they're trying to get away from a little bit with stuff like WandaVision, while still being accessible to everybody, and it's difficult. I get it. Feige's pretty good at that, because DC is able to do say what you want about Joker, and I know all of us are all like whatever Joker. It's
The trickster.
yes, but it's definitely different in tone and different in style than Batman v Superman or Shazam or Aquaman or whatever.
I think they still could have.
It definitely pulls off being serious a lot better than those movies.
I think Agent Carter could have still been like Marvel, just like tone. It didn't have to be darker. It just had to be have stuff happen. Because that's a very boring show where nothing happens, and then even less happens as the show goes on.
Yeah,
They could have made the Marvels like Man from U.N.C.L.E., and they just didn't.
that would be cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I think a good thing that WandaVision did do is that they're all like, hey, Kat Dennings and Randall Park, you guys have great comedic timing. Let's just put you together as like people on the outside. These are side characters that did shit in the actual movies, but these are actors that would probably work well together, and they do. Like, I thought Kat Dennings was annoying as shit in the Thor movies, and I really like her character now in WandaVision because she's put into a role that serves her better and not like wacky intern in a Thor movie. But once again, you haven't seen it, but I'm just saying, I feel like this is really a good step. I feel like also because it's being treated like a movie. because it's actually being done by Kevin Feige and not the other asshole that they got rid of that was running TV and was really, really trying to push the Inhumans, which apparently was the worst television show of all time.
Incredible. Anyway, now that the four
Now that that's out of the way.
now that the four gamers are here,
Yeah.
we can talk about cool things like video games. Gamers, what have we been playing this weekend? And now that Nan is not here, it won't take us a fucking hour. So
It'll take us an hour.
I played through Shantae Half Genie Hero, which was a game I kickstarted and initially did not like. And I replayed it to see if I'd like it and to play the content that I never played because they added like 2 extra campaigns, and I do not like it still.
that's the saddest day. That's the saddest tale.
Which one is Half Genie Hero? It's the one that gets back to the more classic Shantae mechanics after the pirate one, right?
Yeah, it's the one that it immediately follows Pirate's Curse. But instead of making a Metroidvania, they just made a fucking Mega Man game.
Yeah, I actually do like that one, but yeah, it's not.
It's
much more level based, and there's I
the
know what you're saying.
the levels are really small. They're really much more focused on precision platforming, and
Yeah, and
pacing
it
is
literally has a lot of the gimmicks from Mega Man, like disappearing and reappearing blocks and shit like that.
The pacing is just fucking awful because you have to keep revisiting every level after you do it to get something else to go to the next level. And,
Yeah, I didn't like that. I did like the game though because I do like Mega Man style platforming games. And
I don't
the fact that you had to
dislike.
backtrack
Yeah.
was
Sorry.
yeah. No, sorry. Yeah. No. Continue. What else are you playing?
I don't dislike Mega Man style games, but I prefer Metroidvania type games. So it was really disappointing that it wasn't one.
Yeah, Metroidvania is my favorite genre of games, but there's so many of them now that like for instance in The Messenger at the end where it's all like now we're a Metroidvania, I'm all like I guess that's all right, but like sometimes it's okay to not be a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Well, for Shantae in particular, yeah, you have your expectations set. I get it.
Yeah.
Man, I just realized that the Saber Rider and Star Sheriff's video game Kickstarter has not updated since 2018.
It'd be like that, man. I remember.
How much did I pledge to this project? Oh, right, $49.
I remember Mighty Number 9 and Shenmue 3 breaking Kickstarter records, and both of those games came out being piles of shit.
I mean,
I have never backed a Kickstarter.
Shenmue 3 at least delivered like on what people wanted.
Shenmue 3 delivered on
being a Shenmue game.
On being Shenmue 3, I mean.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's much worse than a Shenmue game.
I don't know. I haven't.
That's like complaining about Fuller House, and it's all like, what did you expect, man? Have you seen?
No. The original Shenmue games at least had like a combat system. They had like Virtua Fighter style combat. The new Shenmue game has the worst combat I've ever seen in a 3D action game ever. I don't understand how they did it.
That sounds like Shenmue. Oh man. I'm toiling through these old Kickstarter projects, most of which were pretty okay at best. Saddest
other
day.
than Shantae, I've been playing Killer 7, which is really good PC port of that game. It's the GameCube version, which is the good version, and they up-resed some glaringly low-resolution textures, and it just looks super clean and nice.
Very epic. Spazzy, what have you played?
I haven't had too much time to play games this week. I've been doing more Hades runs. I've been getting to the point where just killing Hades is kind of automatic, so I'm turning up the heat more and more. It's it's still fun. I'm still having a good time. But that's more of a kind of a time wasting game because you get to a point in really any roguelite where you're like, let me just do a run every now and then, especially because it's on a portable system. So if I have some free time, I'll probably do a run or two of that.
Nice.
I started playing Crystallis, the NES classic, on the SNK 40th anniversary collection on the Switch, which I reviewed. Not Crystallis, but the SNK 40th anniversary collection. So thank you SNK for sending that to me like last year, because now I'm going back and playing Crystallis on it. That's really about it as far as games that I've been playing. Nothing too much. I completely forgot that, because I'd played Crystallis way back in the day, that it's very much like a sword and sorcery sort of RPG, old school RPG game. But the story intro in the beginning is like, it's 1995. There was an apocalypse. Now everything's gone back. And I'm like, wow, I completely forgot that was the backstory of this game. Anyways.
Nice. Phantom, what have you been playing?
Every time I get asked this question, I have to think about what am I really playing?
What am I?
Because I have so many games that I buy and don't play that it's like, hey, wait a minute, I haven't touched that game yet. Lately, like how I said in my Pokemon Sword and Shield Crown Tundra review, I can't see myself fully playing Pokemon Sword and Shield again, but the Dynamax adventures definitely make me want to come back to the game and play with friends. And yep, it's been doing exactly that. Me and my friends have been shiny hunting through the Dynamax adventures, and so far the only progress I have is a shiny Marshtomp. It's been really fun, but it's also like really challenging. So there's that. I've been replaying kind of one of my favorite games of all time, Disgaea 2, through the PC port, because originally the game was out on PS2, but then it got ported to PSP with new content, such as like a whole new prologue story and some DLC characters. So I was like, okay, well, I never played through this stuff. Let's play through it this time, and I'm making my way through that. And then I guess for the games that I bought that I haven't been playing, there was Robotics Notes, what's it called, Elite Dash. It's a double pack game. It's essentially it's a visual novel, and I watched the anime to it back in middle school, and now I'm finally playing the game because I've been waiting for literally years for them to bring it over to America, and I've waited so long, and I still haven't played it like a goddamn fool. What else? Oh, and Guilty Gear. I've been playing Guilty Gear. That's because I'm working on Guilty Gear stuff.
Neato.
I think that's it.
I guess before, what the fuck is XSplit doing? Before I get into what I've been playing, I guess I should ask a question about what I've been playing, which is that can like the Rock Band games be considered abandonware at this point?
Why?
Because like, what are the odds of them ever coming back? Like specifically those old games. Like what is like the chance of?
Zero, because of the licensing to re-release those games.
Yeah.
That would be. I mean, it could happen. I mean, there's a lot of licensing involved in Tony Hawk.
Someone asked me that because I've been playing the Beatles Rock Band, and someone said, "Is the Beatles Rock Band considered abandonware at this point?" And I'm very inclined to say yes, because like there's no way that game will ever be reprinted or like reissued or like republished.
Here's a question. Guitar Hero is Activision, and they actually, I feel like the entire, big plastic instrument video game music genre was driven into the ground by Activision. I know Harmonix started it and was competing with them, but Activision likes to make everything annual, and it really just killed it by continuously pumping so much into it.
Yeah.
But Rock Band itself is owned by who? Because it's Harmonix, but it was published by EA.
Yeah. Harmonix got the license again.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
So it's now on them to continue fucking everything up for everybody else.
There might be
Yeah,
some sort of. I think there'll be a. I think there's actually a good possibility of a relaunch of Rock Band when it gets to the point where
Well,
a certain demographic of people will see it as nostalgia.
so
But
here's the thing.
Not the same exact games. Yeah.
So here's the thing. They've been trying. They've been pushing Rock Band 4. And it's not a good game. I don't like Rock Band 4 at all. It's just like it's just not that great. But it's very weird because they launched it on PS4, Xbox One, and then they launched like a Fig campaign to bring it to PC, and that didn't go over so well because usually a lot of people do not want to give you money when you are like, yeah, give us $1.5 million to port a finished game to another platform. Like, it just doesn't sound right. And then just this year, just like a couple months ago, they said like, oh yeah, we're going to be porting Rock Band 4 to like next gen. So clearly like they have the staff and like
Yeah, they
and,
can't do that.
and money to port it to PC, but they just won't. And now their ass is getting kicked by Clone Hero because like it's just 5 guys in a Unity license.
and that has all the replayability you want because
Yeah.
you can add whatever you want to it.
I mean, I'm sure the reason why, like, I know probably the big dealio with Rock Band 4 coming to PC would have been they really wanted to put together like an SDK so people could make their own customs, because obviously that would be like the push for Rock Band on PC would be the workshop support and not like the actual video game itself. And I wouldn't be surprised if the hang up was like, oh no, we got to bring over Rock Band 4 and all of these licensed tracks, and it's like, no, you can just like bring the engine to PC. That's all that people want. No one gives a shit about playing 24K Magic or whatever that fucking Bruno Mars song is. No one gives a shit. They just want to be able to put sicko mode into Rock Band.
Yeah, face it. All of these kind of rhythm games, and I know the Beatles was pretty good, I guess, but it all peaked with Trogdor. So after that, I mean, what was left?
Absolutely. But no, I finally got around to setting up RPCS3 to emulate Beatles Rock Band. Don't worry, kids. I own a legal copy of Beatles Rock Band for the PS3 and used my copy.
Good.
Namely because actually trying to find a ripped copy of Beatles Rock Band for PS3 is really hard. So I just kind of had to use my disc out of convenience. And the main reason why is because there's this group of folks, and they've been doing customs. They've been doing they're currently working on filling out the rest of the Beatles discography and porting it to Rock Band, because the Beatles discography is like 250 songs total, and the base game is like 45, and then I think that gets bumped up to 75 with DLC. So like nearly a third of it is already done. So now it's just everything else. And it's kind of cool. It's kind of neato. It's incredible how far along both like game hacking and like emulation has come, but it's also very cool to see, like, even if you're not a Beatles fan, I'm sure you can like appreciate the idea that someone is like, what if we finished this video game? Like, to obtain what was previously thought to be an unobtainable goal, because there was no fucking way Harmonix was going to keep paying, like, $10,000 per song to actually, like, finish out this game. It's cool. The only thing that could be better is just, like, the emulation could be a little quicker, because it's got to compile them shaders, but so far it's pretty aight. It's very close. I'd say it's like 98%. I'm the first person to fully appreciate the Beatles. Thank you, Cody. I'm the only one. Give me Carnival of Light.
they're a pretty niche band, so I
Yeah.
agree.
I was in a record store like a week ago, and I was talking to the person behind the counter, and they were just like, Beatles collectors are so fucking annoying. I hate them so much. And I'm like, yeah, I feel ya. Hey, can I get that McCartney 3 cassette release?
Was he Jack Black?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, okay. So she was not Jack Black.
She was not Jack Black.
My friends, remember?
I'm gonna make a High Fidelity reference in every Good Morning Source Gaming from now on.
Because that one guy who said, what if they made High Fidelity with retro gaming?
Yeah, so this is 2 weeks in a row, or 2 shows in a row, so we're good.
Oh, you know what? Matt might appreciate this. I went to the game store that's near me, the one where Matt and I at the 0 hour bought that copy of Majora's Mask.
Oh yeah.
and they put an X-Men machine in there.
Seriously?
Yeah, you know what that means, right?
Oh shit.
I ran to my car, I picked up a couple of quarters, I walked in, popped them in, pressed the button that makes Colossus go, and then I walked out. I walked out of this. That was my whole.
Yeah.
That was all I did.
Yeah.
Why?
It's a meme. It's a meme.
It's because MagFest didn't happen, and that's the closest I've gotten to feeling like I should go to that store completely trashed and spam that button, and they'll be like, "Sir, what is wrong? You need help." And I'll be like, "No, you don't understand. MagFest didn't happen this year. I need this. I need this for me." Oh my god! But there's been another game I've been playing this week, but it's a really good segue because it gets us off of what we've been playing this week and also onto the news of stuff that happened this week, because I've also been playing the leaked 007. Oh fuck! I forgot I was last night. Okay, wait. Let me redo that. Everyone, forget the last like 10 seconds. I've been playing the latest Microsoft Xbox exclusive. That's right, GoldenEye.
Ooh. Good thing we can fix that in post and we're not like streaming this live right now.
Yeah, right? Oh, how embarrassing that would be. But yeah, the infamous, I don't know if I'd say infamous, the
long rumored.
Yeah, the long rumored, the long speculated, the long just like anticipated XBLA GoldenEye remake is in fact a real thing. You know what's really funny? I was watching Digital Foundry's GoldenEye video last night from years and years and years ago, like the DF Retro video. And it's funny because they were talking about the GoldenEye remake, and but by that point, the only thing they had was like a couple of screenshots and this like 240p video. And he was saying like, yeah, Project Bean, you could switch between the old and new graphics with the right bumper, and I'm like, this guy fucking knows everything about what we got. Like they knew, and then he's like, yeah, the last thing they worked on only had a couple of glitches in regards to like missing textures, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's what I've been playing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but
it's almost like people knew about this, but not everybody said everything about it. It's funny whenever anything is rumored. If one person says something, there's always so many other people that know too.
Yeah, but the thing that shooketh me was the fact that he had like a perfect description of this like build of an unreleased game that no one had. No one had at that point. Like, it was all through hearsay. Which is very, very spooky. It's a very spooky coincidence. But if you don't know the story of the GoldenEye remake, apparently a lot of people have been getting it wrong. So here's like the summary. GoldenEye, good game. Started as a SNES platformer, turned into a Virtua Cop clone, and then it became a banging first-person shooter on the N64. And then 10 years later, Microsoft went to Rare and said, hey, what if you guys remade GoldenEye for XBLA, because we're trying to push this Xbox Live Arcade platform, and GoldenEye is GoldenEye. So, yeah, do that. and then they were almost done with it, and then they realized, oh fuck, Nintendo published this game. This is like a Nintendo game, because in the late 90s, Nintendo was on a kick where they were trying to like actually make licensed products and projects.
Mm-hmm.
They almost had Harry Potter, man.
Yeah, they almost had Harry Potter. And GoldenEye was one of them. They got the game licensed, didn't make a GoldenEye game, then they gave it to Rare. That is how GoldenEye happened. And so they had to go to Nintendo and go, hey, can we do this? And the funny thing is, and this is like the weird thing, is that a lot of people think Nintendo is the reason why this project was stopped, even though
no, it's not.
It's never been the case. If anything,
Nintendo was like, yeah, as long as we get a cut and we can re-release the original on our virtual console.
Exactly. Nintendo was actually really cool, and they said, listen, as long as we can either do a virtual console release or you port the remake to the Wii. Like either or, like they are cool with it. And then Microsoft went banging, and then Nintendo was like, but we don't have the Bond license anymore. So Microsoft went shit, and they went to MGM Eon, who owned the Bond rights, and the first thing they said was, well, actually, Activision currently has the Bond game license. We have a contract with them, so if you want to publish this game, you got to split the profits like 5 ways. And then also, this is the real thing that people do not bring up, is that MGM Eon actually have a rule book of things that James Bond is and isn't allowed to do. And that rule book was made long after GoldenEye was made. So all of those, there's a lot of things in GoldenEye, even though GoldenEye is like not risque or like edgy of a video game, compared to other boomer shooters, it's incredibly tame, like content-wise. But yeah, they were like, no, which is why when Activision made their remake, they had to follow all those rules.
Remake was so whatever.
Yeah, it was really whatever.
The thing about the Activision take on GoldenEye is that there are moments where it's really good because it was made by Eurocom, the people who made Nightfire. So there are moments where it's actually like seemingly, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. And then there are moments where it's like, this is trash. It's so close to being like a really good Bond game, but not that great of a GoldenEye like replacement. But it just doesn't hit the mark all the way.
So you're telling me they made the entire game without checking any licenses first? I think. Well, I mean, like if we're going off of like the Banjo-Kazooie port and the and like the Perfect Dark port. Which is really weird, because the Perfect Dark port was done by, like, Lionhead Studios. It wasn't even made by Rare. Which is why Peter Molyneux is in the Perfect Dark port. But, like, I'm sure it didn't take them that long to make. I'm sure, like, the development time on that GoldenEye release was, like, 3 months. It seems like all they pretty much did was just, like, ported everything to a slightly more modern engine. And then, of course, did all of the graphical reworking.
Yeah, I find it really interesting the way you can toggle between old and new, and it's not like the Halo remake where it's just like the old game in high definition. No, when you toggle the old graphics, you get fucking N64 240p.
Yeah, they lowered the internal resolution, and and they even turned on like the N64 blur filter.
Yeah,
like they went all out with it, and it's really funny because you can turn that shit on in split screen multiplayer, and it's the worst thing ever because all of a sudden, like all that nice lighting and everything, it just turns into Doom 3. It's just like pitch blackness, and you can't see shit. Me and some friends were playing over Parsec because that's a thing you can do because we live in the future, and yeah, it's like. It was like, stop turning on the old graphics. In regards to the new graphics though, I've seen some people complain about them. I think they look fine. I think it makes the game look a little more time splitters.
To me, from what I've seen, it's usually very good, but there are some levels where it's kind of weird. The snow level feels completely different.
Yeah, because it goes from being like it like changes the time of day.
Yeah, it changes the time of day. There's no more fog. You can see the entire fucking level.
But I feel like that's more in regards to like because they don't have to deal with like they're like they put like real actual lighting in the game and not just like pre-baked darkness
Yeah,
into
but
these levels.
it's just still weird that
Like-
they changed the time of day for that, because it feels like a really cold like nighttime level in the original, and that kind of feeling is lost.
Well, there's a couple of snow levels, and there's one that's like later that's a nighttime level.
Yeah,
But yeah. I mean, like in some cases though, it's absolutely in the game's favor, like Cradle, because in the movie
Oh, yes.
it's supposed to be
seen-
this big you're in like Rio de Janeiro and you're above this like big satellite that actually like broke recently in real life. Yeah, it collapsed. And yeah, in like the N64 game, it's just like foggy and it looks like a mangled mess of metal, and you're like, what the fuck is this? But then they can remove the fog, so you're like, oh, yeah, it's the Cradle, it's the satellite.
Yeah.
Like nice, neato.
Yeah.
Otherwise though, it's perfect. Like it's fucking perfect. It is GoldenEye at 60 FPS with like proper
Yeah.
dual analog controls. And
Yeah.
it's so buttery smooth, and it feels so fucking good. And they added the greatest quality of life improvement that game ever needed, which is that they mapped gadgets to B. You no longer have to take out your watch. You can just cycle through them. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's great.
I maybe I need to check that out. It's been a long time. I can't even really picture playing that game with dual analog. I know that was actually always an option because you could pull out two N64 controllers, which was the most cumbersome and ridiculous control scheme ever.
Well, I always did.
So there's a specific control scheme in the original game that is literally modern dual analog, but the left and right control sticks are flipped to what you're used to, but it's two controllers. Just switch your hands. Just switch them in your hands, and you got it.
Well,
another thing I want to bring up is that you brought up Nightfire, and just real quick, that game was really good. I feel like that game got slept on.
Yeah, you want
yeah,
to know why?
That's
Why?
great.
You want to know why Nightfire got slept on? Is because there was a PC version that was made by Gearbox that was basically a Half-Life 1 mod, and it fucking sucks.
I
Yeah,
remember-
it's fucking horrible.
and once again, I am old. So I was in college when Nightfire came out, and it was probably in that year probably the second most played first person shooter that we played in the dorm right after Halo. Like we really dug that game, but I feel like people just kind of stop at GoldenEye for good Bond games and don't ever talk about anything else.
When Matt was by for the Majora's Mask stream, we played the world something enough.
The world is not enough.
Yeah, the world is not enough, which is like EA's like, oh fuck, oh shit, we gotta make GoldenEye too. But
Okay,
like that
so-
game is good too.
Yeah. So the thing is, after Nintendo lost the Bond license, EA tried to capitalize on it. They made a Tomorrow Never Dies. What was the second fucking Pierce Brosnan movie? I don't fucking remember.
Never Dies.
I think it was, but they made a game based on that, and it was fucking garbage. So then they made the World Is Not Enough game, which was fucking garbage. But on the N64, it was developed by a company called Eurocom, which I have brought up before because
Yeah.
then they went on to make Nightfire, and then they made the good version of that one Daniel Craig game, which was on the PS2, and the fact that they made the only like exceptionally good Bond games outside of like the Dead Space, the developers who who ended up making Dead Space. They made like 2 Bond games, and they're okay. But Eurocom was the only other developer that ever made a Bond game that was pretty critically well received. They made 3 of them, in fact. So that
What are they
made
doing
sense.
No, there's
007 Legends put them out of business.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say there's actually like 2 exceptions to that, which is From Russia with Love.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was talking about.
and Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of Solace PS2 was Eurocom.
But the actual like video game itself was Treyarch.
No,
Yeah?
they made a completely different version for the PS2.
Oh, that's silly. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Because that was a predominantly like a PS3, 360, Wii, PC game. And honestly, I will take it to my grave that Quantum of Solace game is pretty good.
The PS2 version is the only one that reviewed well, and that's the one Eurocom made. So they were like the natural pick for the GoldenEye remake. And then they went on to make 007 Legends, which was horribly rushed. Nobody liked it.
Ooh.
They were out of business.
Ooh, Beanox made the PC and Wii version. Wow. Meow.
But yeah,
They made Dead Space Extraction. for the
007
Badass.
007 as a video game property has fared a lot better than most licensed games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that. It's funny. I saw a tweet a while ago that said, "These are franchises that should have great games, but don't." And it was like Transformers, Ninja Turtles.
Devastation.
Like
what?
that's the thing. It's because, like, I guess if something hasn't had a game in 5 years, people kind of forget. But yeah, Transformers had I was having another conversation with somebody about how odd it was that it took so long for Transformers to get a good game, because in all of the 80s and 90s it had crap. But Devastation was really good, and the War for Cybertron games were good. Ninja Turtles has had a lot of hit or miss, but back in the day they had some of the greatest beat 'em ups of all time, and they've had like serviceable games since then. But I guess people's memories are really short, and licensed games are strange, because you can have a Marvel vs. Capcom and then follow it up with that weird Marvel fighting game that oh god, I can't even remember what it is. I'm gonna look it up right now to see how bad it was. But because licensed games are literally that. They're licensed, and it's whoever the IP holder decides to farm it out to. But just because something hasn't had a good game recently, people forget. And like,
Well, I mean, how didn't Devastation get taken down? Like the online stores, like it's hard to find physically as well.
Is it hard to find physically? I got my copy for like $5.
Yeah, but I think
Like pre-owned, I'm sure, but like
It's definitely been taken off all markets. It's no longer PC.
yeah, so I could imagine that it'd be if you never found out about Devastation when it first came out, you're probably not gonna find out about Devastation. Somebody told you.
So here's a fun thing that I think is hilarious. I could buy Devastation, the physical DVD, for PC
Wait,
for $8.
DVD?
Yes, it's optical disc. You put it into a
disc
thing
drive.
and it reads it. Yeah,
Oh,
a
you
disc
mean a
drive.
CD-ROM?
No.
Yeah,
No.
but
No, it's an empty case that comes with a code in it.
no,
Ew.
no. It actually is the physical thing. I know that because then the Steam key is $118.
What the? Wait, what? Jesus Christ! Oh, I mean, they took it off.
No, okay. So what? How
maybe it
how much did you say it was?
Oh, God.
I'm just going to I just
$8?
to Transformers Devastation. And I went to shopping, so it says
Yeah.
$8. Yeah,
Guys, I saw a
and
listing of the PS4 version for $20.
The
yeah. I was about to say
description.
all the PS4 and Xbox ones are.
The description of the $8 version says video game key code is for Windows computer download.
Ooh.
Oh,
I
never
don't know,
mind.
but yeah, you can definitely find used versions of the console ones for
Yeah,
not
GameStop.
that much. Yeah,
The-
yeah. For 20
Wasn't
to
it on
30
last gen? too?
Transformers
I believe so.
Devastation, Steam Key Global, G2A.com, $117.98.
Why?
I really want it on Steam. Yeah, there was. Here's another thing, and I'd like you guys to weigh out on this. So there was a tweet that said one of these has to disappear forever, right?
Sure.
And the things they did were Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Steam.
Stadia. Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like, okay. And then first of all, a lot of people said Nintendo, and I'm all like, you're just angry fanboys that are trying to rep your shit. Because like honestly, Nintendo. If you lose Nintendo, you lose Nintendo's first party, and they do the most unique games in the industry as far as a first party studio goes. Like, so you're just being stupid. But my main thing was so many people were like, I can't do Steam. I'm like, Steam isn't a platform. It's a distribution network. Like, if you lose Steam, you literally lose 0 games. I don't think Valve has anything that is only Steam. There's some things that I think might be tied to Steam, but
aside
it's just
from their own games.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, what are you talking about? Mr. Tim Sweeney told me that every video game is exclusive to Steam because Valve is evil. And no. Like, don't listen to them. You gotta buy Fortnite, or else my 10-cent handlers will get angry with me.
You gotta buy some sick V-Bucks.
And then somebody got back to me. They're like, I've got like over 100 games on Steam, and I'm all like, well, if you bought them on something that didn't have DRM, such as GOG, then that wouldn't be a problem in any case. And he's all like, fair.
Guys, I broke Apple's terms of license agreement, and I broke the EULA, and I'm losing the court case. This wasn't supposed to happen. We got too cocky, bros.
It was supposed to be free Fortnite.
I can't
selling Epic merch.
I can't. I can't make that iOS money. Fuck.
By the way, Digibel Jr., I am not talking about Contest of Champions. There was. I'm going to look this up, and I'll eventually chime in. There's this really bad Marvel versus game. I'm going to find it.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see that like Valve is like not just Valve? It's like Valve and like a bunch of random companies like CD Projekt and like Ubisoft are getting sued because some guy read a Tim Sweeney tweet from like 2019 or something where he's like, yeah, Valve actually has this super secret agreement that doesn't allow you to sell games at a different price on a different marketplace than Steam, which is absolutely not true, and was proven not true by Sweeney himself because he sold Metro Exodus at a lower price on the Epic Store than the Steam release. Like I know like hating on Epic is like old hat now because like everyone got over it like years ago, but no, like that company sucks.
The game I was thinking of was Marvel Nemesis: Rise of the Imperfects.
The hell is that? I've never heard of that.
Look it up. It is like the worst game. It was made by EA in I looked it up 2005. So that was in that time after the Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but before Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where there's like no console fighting games with Marvel. It's so bad. Like I'm not gonna harp on it here, but everybody that is all like, "What is that game?" Just look up some gameplay or some reviews of Marvel Nemesis: Rise of the Imperfects. So bad. It is one of the worst games I have ever played.
Hey Spazzy, have you ever seen that X-Men like Quake expansion? There was an officially licensed like Quake expansion pack that was X-Men themed.
Yeah, I remember it existing, but I don't remember it.
I gotta send you the Civi 11 video on it, and you'll get a kick out of it. By the way, speaking of like really bad practices in the video game industry, I want to take 2 seconds to talk about cloud gaming. Because
you gotta talk cloud gaming again. We have to have this conversation.
Yeah,
again.
no, because hear me out, right? Hear me out, game assassins. Because I bought this I bought quote unquote this Stadia thing because YouTube gave it to me for free, which is always a good sign. You know it's a good sign when when Google's giving away their hardware for free.
It's a good time when Google closes down the fucking Stadia development.
Yeah, that happened recently, and apparently Amazon is not holding up too well for their exclusive content for Luna. Which to be fair though, like that's like the best timeline because like the idea of having a game exclusive to streaming sounds like a preservation nightmare. Like you have people that are like, oh, I won't buy Scotty Pilg until there's a physical copy, but it's like at least like a cracked copy of that game is always going to be on the internet. Like that's not gonna, that can't happen with like a streaming game.
Yo, hey gamers, who's excited to play Judgment on Google Stadia?
Yeah.
Well, the funny part is too that they poached a lot of talent for those studios, and then they just gave up. Like
yeah, it's almost like their management is completely incompetent.
So are those people
very
just
much so? They'll get they're talented. They're like I said, they poached a lot of really talented people from a lot of really big studios. They'll get jobs again. I mean, it sucks that they lost their job, but it's just like who does that? Who builds up? And that's the other thing. And they launched this service without those games ready. Like you don't do. It's not like we are quote unquote content creators. If I'm gonna do a new physical podcast, not physical, that's stupid. Recorded podcast is what I mean. Talking about physical so freaking much. Like,
get ready for Good Morning Source Gaming on vinyl.
Yeah, we're gonna send them out.
I know you do got a show for
But my point is that if we're doing a pre-recorded podcast, not something like this, we want to make sure to have 4 or 5 completed before we even start, in case there's a problem. Like, what? It's hey, listen, I'm just being honest. That's the correct way to do it. And if you're Google, like you have all of these devs, but you're gonna launch, and I guess it's because it was a beta program or whatever. But you're gonna Stadia, for all of its problems, was also launched before it had any real value, before it was ready. Like they spent so much money on something and then put it out in a way that they basically put it out to die. It's like, and I agree with you that I'm almost all digital with most of my stuff. I think digital is the way to go, but there is a difference between digital and streaming in that with digital, that code is still going to become available to people. So like you said, there's a cracked version. The thing is, if something is streaming only, unless the devs leak it at some point, we will never get that because it's all done server side. So once those servers are done, it's done. It's different.
Well, no, not necessarily, because you still have to make the game anyways to put it on to streaming. Like you can't play that version that you bought, but like, what's it called? Namco released a freaking a Pac-Man battle royale exclusively for Stadia. Like if Stadia goes down, I'd hope.
Yeah, that's the thing. You'd hope.
Yeah. But it still exists, though. It's not like,
Yeah, but if they don't actually release it outside of Stadia, that game is just gone. That game is just gone.
Yeah. Even if they release just even if everything that's on streaming they just release a digital version of, that's better because, like I said, it'll be something that exists that somebody will take and have. Because it's not like if you do a streaming TV show. We're talking about WandaVision before. With a TV show, there's no inputs. So an episode of WandaVision comes out, and even if Disney Plus goes away, somebody will have that recorded because it's just the broadcast.
It's just a video,
right? Yeah.
Also built on Dailymotion.
Exactly. So but there's no the code, the input part of it. All of that, all of the magic that's being done is behind the scenes somewhere on a server. So that's my big, when it comes to game preservation, that's the big issue with streaming, because physical only, it's not even a real thing because every physical game will eventually die. And I know things are going pretty good. You can still play most of your NES or Atari games, but physical media does have a point of just wearing out, not working.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah, that's true. Like
don't
even optical videos. If you watch a Blu-ray enough, and you're not, especially if you're not completely, you're not storing it, wiping it off
in a cool, dry place. Yeah,
it'll, after about 30 years, it'll start messing up. That's
Hey,
just,
hey! Fun fact to all you
nothing
people.
lasts forever. And,
Fun fact to all you vinyl
Even
record
Old November
enthusiasts in the audience.
Yeah.
Those records are made out of PVC, and every time you take them out of the sleeve, they degas. So you are killing yourself. That is a
Wait,
thing. Vinyl records are poison. They're literally
Oh,
poison.
Much like most things from the 60s and 70s.
I actually like. I mean, it's in like very small amounts, and as long as you're not like snorting the fucking record, you shouldn't, die.
But
But
most vinyl enthusiasts do freebase their records, though.
absolutely, I actually would love to see like a peer-reviewed study on like video game cartridges and that shit, and what like. I don't know if it's good to have like 60 NES cartridges like on a shelf sitting next to each other, because I mean we look at them and they're like, yeah, it's plastic, but it's like, is it like with how much like materials over the years have been deemed like, oh wow, that's bad, like it kind of makes you wonder like if we're gonna wake up one day and it's like new review finds that yeah, Nintendo just put fucking lead in the NES plastic.
You know that coating on the Switch cards that
It's actually
get
pneumonia.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh, that'd be a kick. But what was I gonna say? No, but I wasn't actually just talking about the Stadia Studios thing, even though that definitely is like a real big source of contention. But like, oh god, what the fuck, like, there's it really sucks because I know my stance has always been like, haha, cloud gaming bad, XD, and I rant about it in the partner showcase, even though I feel like people didn't like understand where I was coming from on that, because in that video, like, I everyone's like, God, this guy must really hate cloud gaming, I understand not liking it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's like shit like that is just straight up anti-consumer. I don't care who or like how much you like cloud gaming, but stuff like selling a fake version of Hitman 3 on like the Switch, like, to me is just like irredeemable. It's just like, if you pay $60 for Hitman 3 Cloud Edition on Switch, like, you're a sucker. That's just hook, line, and sinker. That's just like my point.
One day that will be taken off, so you don't own it. I feel like I don't have this disdain for cloud gaming that you have, especially if it's something that I don't think would ever really be ported, and that it's basically identical to another version that is available, like the PC version, basically just streaming with different.
But here's my thing. The reason why I especially don't like it is because there are streaming alternatives that negate this issue. The big issue for me is that why would I play a cloud game on my Switch? My Switch is a piece of gaming hardware that I paid money to play video games on it. If I want to stream a video game to a platform, I'll just use my phone. I already have a phone. It's got a better Wi-Fi chip in it. Like, I'll just use that. But like, there are services like GeForce Now where the concept is not like, oh yeah, you it's the Stadia version of a game. Like, you pay $60 to Google and they host Hitman whatever. Like, with something like GeForce Now, the idea is that no, you're using your own Steam license to basically play your game, but on someone else's machine, and stream it from there.
Stadia is kind of ridiculous because it's essentially if, let's say you have Netflix, but in order to watch the movies, you have to purchase them at full price. You're already paying for a monthly streaming price, and then you have to buy the games.
Yeah. That's why Stadia is kind of horrible, because you're paying the same price to temporarily own a game that you would be paying to keep it on other platforms.
By the way, yeah. I disagree with the I know you're like memeing. I know you're doing the haha like Diablo Immortal, don't you guys have phones thing? But no, like, the entire push for cloud gaming has been on devices like tablets and phones anyway. So like putting one video game, like putting like how many cloud editions of games are on the Switch? Like 2? Like
Resident Evil.
I'm just talking on the US
Control.
eShop alone.
Oh,
Like
not many.
Control and
Well,
Hitman.
yeah.
Control, Hitman. Well, I would still count Resident Evil and also Fantasy Star Online too, because they're still cloud.
Oh yeah, Fantasy
Yeah, but those
Star
are
Online,
Japan
too.
only.
But there's still.
Yeah, but
I was
it's
talking
region
about
free.
either way, it's not a lot, and it's like there's
Yeah.
singular releases, and it's not a service. Yeah, and then like as Dingy says, there's stuff like xCloud, and there's stuff like GeForce Now, and there's even stuff like Stadia, and those are all available on phones.
I'm gonna be honest. Fantasy Star Online 2. I would actually prefer having access to a cloud version of that because it's free anyway, and that fucking game is like 80 gigabytes. I'm like, no.
I was
No.
actually
Played on PC.
I was schminking about it. I was thinking about it, and like I think the only exception to like the like cloud games on Switch, my only exception would be like free to play multiplayer games. Like if they wanted to port Warzone to Switch, and they were like, well, the only way we can do this is cloud gaming. Honestly, sure, because it's an online like free multiplayer game anyway. Like the inherent issues of like, oh, I need to connect to the internet, or like, oh, I need, I like, oh,
I
they
think Phantasy Star also is something that works like that because it's basically an MMO. It's just a way to play with.
yeah,
other
it's just a
people using
multiplayer
device.
game.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree with that. And the thing is, I wouldn't mind it. I just feel like paying $60 for if it was $20 to play Control on the Wii, and you can think of it basically as a rental. I don't have as big of an issue with that.
Yeah.
Personally. And the other part of that is, and I get this, what you were saying was that there's been some really amazing ports done on the Wii, like Doom
Switch.
Eternal recently.
You keep saying
So-
we.
So I'm sorry. I was talking to I've been my friend's the disc reader
Oh,
burned
okay.
out, so I'm talking to him on WhatsApp right now. So I got we on the mind.
Damn.
But yeah, on the Switch, I forgot what I was talking about. Something about streaming games.
Ports
I'm sure.
and yeah.
Oh, ports. Yeah. So what I was saying is that I get that too. That no one's going to even try to make like a Control port because there's a streaming version. But I feel like there's only certain games that would really get the port treatment anyways. So I do kind of miss back in the day where, companies would completely make a game from the ground up that kind of sort of looks like the game, where they're like, hey, this is Mortal Kombat for the Game Boy. Hey man, look, it's Sub-Zero, can't you tell? Totally. This is totally
Hey man,
Mortal
we
Kombat.
made Quantum of Solace for the PS2. It's a completely different game and it's better. Check it out.
Yeah,
It's still that. Don't you
yeah.
remember Final Fantasy 15 mobile version?
There you go.
Like, that came to Switch?
Oh god, it's better than the actual game.
Is it really? I
Yes.
bought it and I haven't played
It
it.
is.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Because I do think there is like merit to services like GeForce Now, and especially the Steam Link. I recently plugged my Steam Link back in after like not using it for a couple years, and it still works perfectly. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how Valve managed to pull that off, but like the Steam Link is still like the best $50 I've ever spent on hardware because it just works. Trademark.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal piece of hardware.
You guys know I don't have the best internet connection at my place, but I have my PC in one room upstairs and my Steam Link downstairs, and it works fine.
Yeah, that's how I do my memery too. And like it fucks me up because honestly, I feel like if they ever made a Steam Link 2, which they won't, and it's not, which is more to do with the fact that they've just made a Steam Link like software that you can just put on anything. So that kind of negates the need of having to make like a new piece of hardware. But like I would love if they made a Steam Link 2 that was like 4K HDR compatible, because then I would really not have any reason to buy a new console. Because then I could just, like play all my games off of my PC, but on my TV in a different room, and it's like it basically looks and feels like it's playing locally anyway.
Oh, Steam Link is they have a Steam Link software package for Raspberry Pi. That sounds fun.
Nice.
Okay. Anyways. Where were we? Where's our agenda? We talked about Stadia.
We got to talk about the
Segue.
Zelda thing.
Zelda. Well, excuse me, princess.
Oh my god. Oh
it's
my
in live
god.
action. Oh, if they actually did have the live action Zelda, there would be a line where Link would say
They would say the line, Bart. Yeah.
Just like how you watch Justice League and they're like, come on, he's gonna say booyah. Cyborg's gonna say it because it's something I remember from when I was a kid, so he needs to say it. So yeah, no, it would, and they would try to work it in organically, and people would either be like, that was the worst thing ever, or they made it work. I can't believe it. Oh my god, this is the best show ever.
But yeah, there was
also an episode would start with if they did it now with Open Your Eyes Link, and there would be at least once. All of these things would happen. You know this.
Yeah. So a couple of years back, there was a rumor that Netflix was making a live-action Zelda show, and it turns out that that was actually a leak that Netflix put out themselves to gauge interest and make hype for it. And Nintendo caught wind of exactly what they did, and they canceled that and a Star Fox puppet thing as collateral.
Oh, that Star Fox puppet thing was also just to be clear. That's not what I wasn't with.
Honestly,
it wasn't with Netflix, but it was. They just didn't want to do it anymore.
I've always been like.
It seems really petty, right? Like.
No, I've always been very like conspiratorial about how like Netflix does like their business, because I was like, I am fully convinced, or at least I was fully convinced. Now I'm 100% sure that they have like a viral marketing team, because there have been instances where like for example, like the Resident Evil show was rumored, and the source of the rumor was nothing. It was just articles like, oh, is there a Resident Evil show? And you're like, where are you getting this? Where are you getting the idea that Netflix is making a Resident Evil show? Like, where is that coming from? Unless you're pulling it out of your ass. And then it's like, oh no, now to hear that, no, like Netflix actually does do that they intentionally leak concepts of shows to the press to essentially gauge interest and potentially pressure license holders into showing, hey, people actually want this, makes a ton of sense. And wow, fuck Netflix.
Oh yeah, they probably did the same thing with the new Sonic show that's coming too.
I think they do it.
Got leaked.
They do it a lot. I honestly like fully believe, and I know this is conspiratorial, but fuck it. I fully believe that Netflix like intentionally like plants shit like that as in regards to viral marketing. I remember very early on in the global cough, I can't say the word or else we'll get demonetized.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing a meme of the Tiger King, the funny Catman show, and like no one had heard of the show yet. Like, it had just come out the day before, and there was already a funny meme on like the front page of Reddit about it, and I'm like, that does not seem natural.
Yeah,
that does not seem real. I really highly doubt like thousands of people watched this stupid fucking show with no advertising and no like there's no way Netflix doesn't do that shit to make people go like, oh, I guess if everyone else is watching it, I might as well.
But the Sonic show that's gonna be on up on Sonic Prime, yeah, it's called Prime, not Prism. So that got revealed by mistake on Netflix's Twitter actually before like we got this new announcement, because like on the same day that they were. Yeah, on the same day that they revealed like Winx Club.
Fucking Winx Club.
On the same day that they revealed Winx Club, they also revealed that they was like, hey, there's gonna be a 3D CGI, whatever called Sonic show that's on Netflix. But then they took that tweet down like an hour or two later.
I mean, I'm probably
remember that.
I'm of the unpopular opinion that I really don't mind that Zelda Netflix thing not happening. I remember reading about that on the Zelda Informer podcast, and we were like, this is such I know, right? And I remember like Adam and I going, this would be so bad. Especially because this was like, what, 2014, 2015?
Oh, God.
Netflix originals were fucking awful in those first few years. Now, like, I mean, they're still pretty bad. Like, but they're exponentially better than they were in their first couple of years. But if they had actually made, like, a Zelda Netflix show, especially live action in 2015, it would have fucking sucked. It would have been so bad.
That was pre-Stranger Things, so that was... Because Stranger Things was the thing that I feel like really broke... And I'm not talking quality-wise, I'm talking about this kind of mainstream crossover must-see show. There are other things before them. I'm trying to think, like Orange is the New Black, but House of Cards, but not like nothing that really like drove people to be like, let's watch this instead of watching, I don't know, The Office for the 12th time.
BoJack Horseman.
And listen, not to like...
BoJack Horseman's good, but I mean, it's
like
great.
it.
And
Really? I love it.
and listen, not to like oh, fucking Daddy Nintendo does nothing wrong. Not to like defend them on making rash decisions, because God knows they love to do that.
Because they made a digital Fire Emblem game, something that I can't buy after.
Yeah, but like at the same time, I also don't blame them for not wanting to work with a company that works in a way where to drum up and pressure another company into making something, they have to intentionally leak things.
Yep.
I feel like that's just generally kind of a scummy practice to begin with. Like,
remember when Disney leaked that Sony wanted more money for Spider-Man, or they weren't going to play ball, and then it got turned into this whole thing that, oh no, Sony's bullying
evil.
Disney.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
it's almost like it's like a weird like public shaming practice.
Is that not illegal? Like, cause
well,
like,
I mean, it's
you have to sign an NDA first for any of this stuff.
they
It's
probably
completely
they probably didn't have an NDA. They were just in talks. They probably had nothing planned. They were just like talking about it, and then Netflix goes like, "Hey, what if there was a Netflix Zelda show?" to some guy at like the Wall Street Journal, and it gets picked up, and they want to go, "See, look, everyone wants this." And then Nintendo goes, "Why would you do that?" Like, because it also completely it completely like removes any faith or trust in working with that company. Like,
Yeah, because
like
they're-
at
they're-
all.
Of course. I'm looking at like 2015 was even when the Marvel stuff started. That's when Daredevil began. So yeah, like I feel like Netflix's originals, it was a much smaller scale at that time. They were really trying to ramp stuff up with licensed IP.
Yeah.
And for sure. Yeah, no, I understand. Like I said, there is that part where it seems petty. Like, oh, just because Netflix did this, Nintendo's taking taking the ball and running home. But at the same time, it tells you a lot about their business practices, especially because it seems like, Nintendo wasn't informed of what happened, and they're all like, are you going to be doing shit
Oh my God.
with our show behind our back? You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
God.
What?
Oh my God. Okay, so I dug up the original Wall Street Journal report.
Of the Netflix thing.
The video streaming service is in the early stages of developing a live-action series based on Zelda about an ordinary boy named Link who must rescue a princess named Zelda, blah, blah, blah. Okay. As it seeks writers to work on the show, Netflix is describing it as Game of Thrones for a family audience.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that. I
Yeah.
remember
Oh my
remember
God.
everything
That would have been fucking horrible.
Obviously, if you're going to turn any Nintendo IP into Game of Thrones, it's clearly Fire Emblem. It even has the incest.
that.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but
I wish you were wrong.
But yeah, I
Similar to the count.
I have zero faith in if this show actually had like existed, and I honestly do not blame them for canceling it. The College Humor Star Fox one is kind of sad though. That one is kind of fucked up, especially considering that College Humor had done like a lot for, weirdly enough, had done a lot for Nintendo with stuff like Dinosaur Office.
Yeah,
So
I believe that was Collateral, and then Nintendo was seeking a company that they could trust more.
yeah,
And then they got Universal.
Adam Conover said that they like the Star Fox College Humor thing was completely collateral. It was just like they had lost faith and like trust into just in like any other company.
What's the name of that company?
Illumination.
Yes. Now they're working on Illumination.
Oof,
And we still don't know anything about that Super Mario movie. It's been like,
Well,
Are you ready for
Yeah.
Are you ready for Toad to become the next minion?
I hope Toad doesn't talk. Like, I just wanted to make the noise. The Toad.
Yeah. It's
You want
just
him
gonna
to
be.
become a minion.
It's just gonna be an entire movie of.
No, but like the minions like try to speak. Like they have like a broken.
Yeah, they say
banana.
the haha banana. Yeah.
Yeah. I want Toad to just like have that
Not
sound
ma-
effect. And,
not
like,
make
not
words.
not be loud and not
You
talk
guys
as
think
often.
that there's been one good Illumination movie?
Just the
No.
first one for me, yeah.
Yeah, Despicable Me was okay.
No, wait.
first one.
Are there good Illumination movies? Let me look at the list and I will tell you.
Oh, also, I did like
Despicable Me 2. That's it. That's the only one.
I don't know.
Yeah, The Secret Life of Pets was sure a movie that happened.
I watched it again recently. I was like, yeah, this is really boring.
Honestly, as much as the Minions are worse than any creation in human history, those Despicable Me movies are pretty fucking cute.
Yeah.
they're
Secret Life of Pets is not too bad either.
yeah, okay.
Mario, it's me, Toad. I'm gonna accompany you on your entire adventure.
Oh god. Did Illumination didn't make the Angry Birds movie, right?
No, they didn't.
No.
All right. That one was good.
They have made those fucking Dr. Seuss movies.
Oh, I haven't seen those. I still haven't seen The Grinch.
Oh,
And I want to. Cause I wonder how they did it.
the Dr. Seuss's The Lorax is like the reason why the internet should be taken away from most people.
I still haven't seen that either.
It gave us the Onceler, and
Oh, yeah,
we
no.
can't have that. We cannot have that.
Do you remember Hop?
Yeah, that. Oh, you mean
yeah.
that? You mean that movie that has
cool.
the same plot as Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog?
So the Angry Birds movie was done by Rovio Animation, which is just Rovio, the people that make Angry Birds. Is that,
Oh,
is that
cool.
right?
That's cool. Yeah,
Okay, good for them, I guess.
they made their own movie. That's.
I
Is
mean,
that
I
right?
guess that might be the best case scenario because there aren't very many good video game adaptations.
That one
in
was
the
actually
world.
pretty good, even though like there wasn't everything that they adapted was kind of
I mean,
original. I guess.
what are you gonna make? How are you gonna make Angry Birds a movie?
Did you watch the movie?
No, but that's what I'm saying. You're
Sure.
saying they adapted stuff and made their own thing. I'm like, but how are you gonna take the actual
Yeah,
plot from
That's
Angry
how
Birds and make it into a movie?
there's no
Yeah.
plot. There's no plot.
They
It's
just
like,
made
hey,
it like a shitty generic kids film. That's like exactly.
yeah, but it's not actually like that bad. It's actually like pretty like the pacing.
The
is pretty
birds
little-
are angry and the pigs are mean, so they don't like each other.
Johnny
But at the
is
end,
a very lonely child feeling alone in the world. He is disgruntled. Over the course of his adventure, he will learn to open up to people.
yeah.
Sometimes I can't tell if you're.
But
making
what
fun of-
if the cartoon birds went into the real world?
or if you're making fun of Y2K? because I know that Y2K has some very strange writing choices.
No,
where-
we're making fun of
Listen,
shitty children's
I know.
movie like Sonic the Hedgehog.
If I ever make fun of Yick, I'm going to say that the main character is an incel.
Oh god.
Okay?
So when are they going to do an Angry Birds movie crossover? What do you cross Angry Birds with?
Star
Angry
Wars.
Yeah.
Flappy Bird.
No. Flappy Bird. I would think Flappy Bird. That would be a good one. I would think maybe Candy Crush would be the Angry Bird Candy Crush.
Nah, that was an emoji movie. They already got his crossover.
It's
Wreck-It Ralph 3 happens. They end up in the Flappy Bird world, and somebody makes a cute joke about, "Hey, isn't this borderline copyright infringement?"
Here's how you make just like any movie for kids. It's just like wow, it's a mystical being, but they get transported into the live action world, and they have to get from point A to point B, and then at some point along that line they nearly die, but they come back, and there is a girl who cannot act, and the villain is their motivations are really fucking stupid and don't make any sense, but they make a stupid referential joke, so everyone goes, "Ah, but he's quirky." And
Are you
then
making fun of the SpongeBob movie?
I'm making fun of every movie with that plot because there's so many fucking movies with that plot.
Sonic the Hedgehog. That was exactly Sonic the Hedgehog.
But that's also Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
And Hop and the Smurfs. Yeah, like it's
all the same.
Hold on, wait. But the SpongeBob movie is good though. It's actually a great movie. Yes, it's a great
I'm just
movie.
saying it's a very overdone plot. Actually,
Yes,
wait, Phantom. It was good, and then they fucked up by trying to do it again with Sponge on the Run because they did the same plot again.
Wait, no, not Sponge on the Run. It was Sponge Out of Water. Sponge Out of Water was that one.
Sponge on the Run.
No, Sponge Out of Water is the second one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fucking third one that just came out that has the same.
They don't go into the real world for plot A to plot B.
They actually do at one point. Remember
Okay,
Okay, yeah. But that's not like the whole.
But also, fucking Keanu Reeves is with them the whole movie.
Okay. Did you watch?
They still have to leave Bikini Bottom. That's like the plot of the film.
But on the real world is what I was saying.
You guys gotta stop yelling.
But no, wholesome 100 Chungus fucking Keanu Reeves the whole time.
But Hollywood is super tropey, and when something works, they just run with it. Like any Tom Cruise movie after Risky Business, but before 1995, was literally Tom Cruise is the best at what he does, and then some tragic shit happens, and now he's given it up, and he's the worst. But then he meets a special somebody who really inspires him, and he has to become the best again. That's literally every movie.
How would you?
Hey,
from Top Gun to even The Last Samurai. It's all the same shit.
SpongeBob, I know you're on the run, but I'm gonna teach you how to get out of it by getting Reddit gold.
Wait, is it even
SpongeBob, wake the fuck up, Samurai.
Is it called Sponge on the Run?
The last one is called Sponge on the Run.
Yes, because when I think,
or at least it was
On the
supposed to be
Run.
called Sponge on the Run. No, it's called Sponge on the Run.
why?
It's called the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run.
He's on the run because he got reported on Reddit.
No, because it's literally the same plot as the first SpongeBob movie. It's because
No, It's not though. It's the same plot as Gary Come Home.
It's like
Gary-
they gotta go to fucking well, in this one it's not Shell City. What is it?
They're going to Atlantis.
They go to Atlantis City.
That's like the fucking fifth time they've gone to a different Atlantis in that entire franchise.
Yeah, and it's like the fucking 6 different Neptune. It's like they keep changing them.
No, it's not Neptune. It's a different character. It's a different.
Oh, Poseidon. Sorry.
Yeah, Poseidon.
It's the same fucking thing. It's just a different name.
Remember when they went?
No, they both exist. It's different. It's different. I swear.
Remember when SpongeBob went to Atlantis and David Bowie was there?
Oh yeah, Atlantis Atlantis.
Yeah.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
at least the video games that they had was cool.
Man,
That
they
one's
even did another Krabby Patty car. They did it again. They did
Oh,
the same.
they brought back the Krabby Patty Fire.
Yeah, they did it
Hard,
again.
hard. Yeah. That was the coolest
SpongeBob
thing.
is on the run because he got doxxed by Reddit
and
saying
they-
that Minecraft is bad.
And they have a song and dance number, except this time it's Snoop Dogg because I cannot believe I'm alive.
There's two. There's
Holy
two.
holy shit, Matt, you would love Sponge on the Run. It is the stupidest fucking movie ever made.
Yeah, really bad. It's really bad.
They literally go to like a random old western town and Keanu Reeves is like, whoa, there's Snoop Dogg. And then there's a song and dance number. And then Danny Trejo shows up. And they have to kill Danny Trejo.
Snoop Dogg is just for the music. He's not for anything else.
He's like, hey, yo, SpongeBob, give me that check. I need to feed my grandkids.
It's crazy because Sponge on the Run.
SpongeBob, put that Reddit gold in the jukebox. We gotta go.
God, that movie fucking sucked. Oh my god. Oh my. You know what? Fuck it. The rest of this Good Morning Source Gaming is just talking about Sponge on the Run. My favorite part of Sponge on the Run is how they spend the last 30 minutes advertising this shitty prequel show that no one will watch.
Yeah.
You know, SpongeBob fucked me over, but I remember in the prequel series Camp Coral, and then it has like a flashback. And I was, because it's just like Sandy will pop up and she's like, I remember when I was just a squirrel, but then I met SpongeBob at Camp Coral 2021 series. And then it flashes back.
Hey,
By the
remember
way,
when I was in Camp Coral and then I left for Texas and then I said I was in Texas the whole time.
yeah, they fucked up the lore. I seriously, I was like so ready, like, cause every character does it. Fucking Krabs is like, I was in Camp Coral, and he's just like a side character. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, he's like a freaking like a burger stand.
He's like
at
a
Camp
chef,
Coral.
yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy to me because Sponge on the Run looks so beautiful.
It looks really
Like,
good.
it
The
looks-
animation kind of sucks, but like the art is good.
I'm gonna fucking die.
but it looks visually amazing, like an actual film. But the writing feels like a straight to TV as well.
Except when they have to put characters in the background and they look like PlayStation 1 models.
Yeah, it bothers me so much.
It
And
looks
it's like,
so
bad. When it gets to the part where they're talking about Camp Coral, it definitely feels like, wow, this is just to advertise Camp Coral. And it's like, God.
No, it absolutely is.
It absolutely is. And it's like, what?
I like that part where SpongeBob goes to Camp Coral. Which, by the way, I just want to mention, like, in the movie, they're all voiced by, like, children who can't act because children can't act. But in the show, it's just them.
It's the actual voice actors.
It's just the actual voice actors. It's fucking 60-year-old Tom Kenny playing a 5-year-old SpongeBob.
Yeah. And the thing is that Sponge on the... Okay, well, I don't want to call Sponge on the Run, because, like, we've seen, like, concept art of, like, what this movie initially was, because it also
Yeah,
had,
with
like, a
the
title
alien
change as
cats.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, the plot of Sponge on the Run had changed at some point. So like I don't remember what it was actually about or originally about, but like they could have, if they're gonna shoehorn like Camp Coral in it, you might as well just made a different film and like still have, like you could still have it be like a theatrical film, but like granted if theaters are still open, but like you could just have it just change the plot so that Camp Coral doesn't feel shoehorned in, have it be something completely different, and then I wouldn't have an issue with it. But it's because it's like Keanu Reeves being there for no reason, the things happening where they don't necessarily need to happen, or like the reason why they happen is very stupid. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like why? Like it feels so bad. It's so bad. And I was looking forward to it. I hate it. I hate looking forward to things and then they suck.
Hey,
Yeah,
Krabs,
man.
remember when I was at Camp Coral?
Krabs, remember when I was at Camp Coral?
All right, guys. I think that's enough SpongeBob.
Oh, my God.
I still can't believe, like, Oh, that fucking Snoop Dogg number is like a waking nightmare. I cannot believe it felt like something. It felt like something that would have been too outdated to do when the first SpongeBob movie came out. Like having a random celebrity to do a song and dance number, like
Yeah.
that shit was way out of touch when the fucking first SpongeBob movie came out, especially for something as self-referential and like loves to break the fourth wall as SpongeBob.
You should definitely watch it, man. I think you would definitely laugh. You would definitely.
Yeah.
It's really
I love things that are trying to be good but are bad.
Oh my god.
This I'm watching that Quake mod. It's hilarious to see like Beast getting mowed down by Gatling guns.
Yeah.
Oh no.
the Weezer cover of "Take on Me" is also in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah it is. Yeah, it is.
When did Weezer get so bad? Like
I don't know,
there's
no,
definitely-
but Spazzy, their new album's really good though.
Is it for real?
Okay,
Like,
Human is really good.
I don't listen to
Oh,
Weezer,
okay.
so I don't know if their music.
I don't listen to music.
I don't, what do you mean? No, I listen to music. I don't listen to Weezer. I don't listen to it. Like the only song I've heard from them, like consciously, whatever the word is their "Take on Me," and I originally saw it on YouTube. So hearing it in the freaking Sponge on the Run, Sponge on the Run, I was like, why is this YouTube video song?
Spazzy,
in a film?
every review of OK Human has been holy shit, Weezer is good again.
like yeah, well,
That's been
there's,
every review.
There was some probably like a Hard Times article that was Weezer releases best of, which is just 4 copies of the Blue album. So
Yeah.
that was pretty good. But like Weezer had 3 good albums, like good to great albums in a row from Weezer, from the Blue album, Pinkerton, and the Green album, and then it was just like downhill like for years and years. So I don't know if I believe that. I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I will-
OK
I will-
Human
I will
is very
stream it.
good. And we're still waiting on
Okay.
Van Weezer.
We'll see.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Okay, what's left because I want to go eat breakfast.
Good question.
Oh yeah, Nintendo changed their online thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
but we
changed
don't-
it to an infrastructure that seemingly won't have much of a difference. It's just new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing is that in the future, when this is stable, they might be able to introduce more modern things. But the thing is, everyone's all like Smash, but Smash is like a peer-to-peer connection with crap netcode. So it doesn't matter.
Smash isn't like the online isn't
On their
wasn't made by Nintendo. It's on their servers. Every Switch game is on their servers, but it would be much. It's as we've seen with Monster Hunter World, the demo. If problems happen, it is not easy to fix them.
Granted, that is a demo, at least like that whole like.
So, like,
it's
Monster
not-
Hunter World, the demo is running on Nintendo's new online infrastructure, which has a Monster Hunter Rise. The demo is running on Nintendo's new online infrastructure, and it has a horrible glitch, a horrible problem where if your friend list is too big, the game will run at like a frame per second, and it is unplayable. And they said that it's going to be fixed in the final version, and I think the reason it's going to be fixed is that they are just going to use the old infrastructure.
I
but-
think it's. I mean, I had that issue, haha. But like, I think that just might be the game. I don't think that has anything to do with how the online is like processed. I think it's just because of like the way Monster Hunter Rise like tries to go like, hey, are your friends playing? I don't think it actually has anything to do with this like online service,
But they
especially
didn't
because like all that
really-
stuff would be on the back end.
But I think the double generations or the double cross also did the exact same thing where it looks for your friends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, I do.
So it's like that. If both games do the exact same thing of looking for your friends, then it must actually be.
I think the
it
problem
might-
is that
it
it's.
might be,
I think the issue is that it's constantly
okay.
looking while you're playing, which makes no
Oh,
sense.
yeah,
but I
that's
think
true.
that's just an issue with the game. I don't think it's an issue with the online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's only speculation. But we'll have to see how that pans out.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make anything better. They're still gonna do the same stupid shit where like the online tick rate is like fucking 15 or something.
Yeah. To allow people playing on their cell phones in the middle of a desert to play Splatoon 2.
Yeah, people on those bullet trains on their way to work, they need to use their cell phones. Oh, they want to play Splatoon. It's the new hot game. Let's make online worse for everyone so they can.
It kind of sucks because I still feel like they should really introduce like a fast lane option that once the thing is like, you know, wired or something, the tick rate goes up. There's enough people playing these games that they could do it and no one would notice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
What happened?
Well, how about
Games, the Fantasy 14 expansion, I guess. I don't play that.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else happened?
Apex Legends kind of happened.
Oh yeah, it's from the Switch.
Oh yeah,
then-
people got really excited. Oh, there's got to be a new Nintendo Direct, even though only one company has said they're going to do a thing on a date that they've already previously established, and it was exactly what they said they were going to do. They gave an update on Apex Legends, and people got upset because there wasn't a Nintendo Direct.
People like to get upset about things that they weren't ever actually promised. That's just how things are.
Yeah.
Listen, we love you all in the audience. We love you all, and it's okay if you do this, but having been a part of a Nintendo channel for like 2 years now, for me, everybody else in this call has been here for longer. I have gotten numb to people asking for directs.
Same.
It's like every day.
I do have a crackpot theory though, and I know it hurts to say, I know it hurts to hear, but I do have a genuine crackpot theory that we were potentially supposed to get a partner showcase, but it just didn't happen because Nintendo was like very third party, like post happy on their Twitter in like the last couple of weeks. And I did find it a little interesting that both times Apex Legends leaked was on a Monday night.
Is Japan still in lockdown? Because I remember they went lockdown.
They actually went back into lockdown because their
They
cases
went back
surged.
in
Yeah,
That's probably why.
because
I think what might have happened was they had a showcase planned, not a big one. They probably were gonna do like another like 10-minute one, kind of like the July or August ones, and just I guess maybe Apex was supposed to be like the big kind of tentpole game because it does sound like they were like on track to releasing it on the 2nd, and then just something came up and they had to push it to March. Which has happened before. That has happened with games. It's just the thing is that happens. And I would not be surprised if because of that push they said, oh, and then they kind of said like, you know, we'll just like tweet out everything regardless. Because we got like the trailer for Ghosts and Goblins. We got that weird ReZero post.
Mhm.
Don't talk about that.
Ghosts and Goblins, every time I see it, I feel like it looks better. I don't know. I think I'm just getting used to it.
Well,
It
it is a lower budget game, and it is very, very likely that it is being made to look better and being enhanced as they go along, instead of high budget games generally stay in the same place from
Yeah, by the time they're revealed, there's not
Yeah.
that much. I feel like the art style choice isn't terrible because it's got a paper cutout thing going on, and I get it.
The only I don't think it looks bad. I just think it animates bad.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It looks the art is great. The animation of it, though.
Yeah.
It is a little rough.
Let me see.
I noticed while you're looking for stuff that happened.
Did you guys?
I noticed recently that Square Enix has actually been picking up a lot of Capcom talent, and having them lead their games because they want them to be more action and less RPG. Because like Final Fantasy VII Remake, the combat director on that was like the lead game designer on Monster Hunter World, and I didn't know that.
Oh.
And in Final Fantasy 16, the combat director is one of Hideaki Itsuno's like sub directors. Kota Suzuki. He was a sub combat director on Dragon's Dogma, Devil May Cry 5. And I think the reason that they're doing this is because Final Fantasy 15 happened, and it had some of the worst combat I've ever seen in a video game. So they couldn't do action because they didn't know how. So they're picking up people who do know how. And that's kind of interesting. I just hope Capcom doesn't lose all of their people through this.
I remember when people from I don't know if it was actually true or not. I think it's a rumor still. Like when people from the Sonic team went over to Nintendo.
No, that's not.
That's true.
That's true. You can see them in the credits. There are a lot of people from Unleashed Generations that are working at Nintendo now. One is at like Monolith. The big one was the art director, who the lead world designer, the guy who was in charge of the art direction for the levels in Sonic Unleashed, is the world designer for Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
and
really?
that would explain why Sonic Forces looks like shit.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, they lost their talented like artists, and that's something. Should we talk about the Sonic leaks? Because that is a thing that happened.
I would like to talk about it, but I haven't read through it, so I can't necessarily say anything.
Yeah, I haven't.
I don't want to put a spotlight on poor old Zippo.
Yeah, I haven't read famous leaker Zippo's manifesto on Sonic, so I haven't.
Are you gonna read it?
I'll be very like out of touch with the conversation.
Do you want me to read it?
You know what? Sure.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so the 30th anniversary is going to be basically there's a new Sonic collection on the way. It's being made by M2, I think. Well, actually, that's just speculation on his part, but it's most likely the M2 versions of 1 and 2. Sonic 3 will not be included. Yeah. Michael Jackson estate.
Is it Michael Jackson
it's
estate?
gonna...
I thought it was Brad Buxer. I thought it was just Brad Buxer.
No. Brad Buxer actually seems to be one of the few people who are okay. It's not the Michael Jackson estate.
Because I know.
So the thing is,
yeah,
there were a lot of Michael Jackson's producers that worked on the show, and a lot of them were not paid for it. But Brad Buxer kind of re-released the original song that became Ice Cap Zone, and it was marketed as being from Sonic 3.
As
so
Sonic
I don't think he specifically has a problem, but the other people who did were not paid their dues. So
I know, but I don't know. From what I heard from people, that was as like a dig at Sega, because it was like, what are you gonna fucking do, kind of thing.
Okay, maybe.
Basically,
the people who made the music for Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 alone were not paid their dues. So that's why Sonic and Knuckles is pretty much a Sega-only soundtrack, and why Sonic and Knuckles gets re-released and Sonic 3 does not. Then there's going to be a new Mario and Sonic Olympics title, but that one is possibly going to be canceled because it is going to be based on the China Olympic Games.
Oh,
Wait, I have a question. Are these actual leaks or are these just speculations?
It is apparently in development, but they are considering canceling it due to the cancellation of the summer games, and the winter games are going to be in China next year. So their speculation on Zippo's part is that they're going to be possibly canceling it.
hey Matthew, the
50-50?
gaming. Hey Matthew, the
Yes?
gaming Joker Levenska. Can you post a link to this in Stream Channel? Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you.
But-
The gaming Joker.
Sorry, I'm processing it as I read it, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I misrepresent anything. I want to make sure I
Yeah.
state
no.
what's speculation and what's not. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a potential new 2D Sonic, but that is the one that Zippo's least confident on. And there's no real information about that.
Yeah.
But the big one is that there's a new 3D Sonic.
Like,
And it is the result of Sonic's leadership being handed over to Sega of America instead of Sega of Japan. And Sega of America has figured that because of the flack that they keep getting, especially from Forces, that they're not doing a boost title. It's not going to be a boost game. It's going to be a return to a more traditional 3D platformer. And it's going to be fully 3D. There will be no 2D sections. It's going to have the spin dash and character upgrades, as in like power-ups that you get in levels that are permanent, like Adventure 1 and 2. And there are more playable characters than Sonic, but we don't know who they are. So that's the big one. It's apparently still on track for being released holiday this year, but it could be delayed. And that's all we know about it for now.
I mean, this is my first rodeo, man. I've seen this before, where you have leaks on Sonic games and it sounds good, and then it comes out and it's Lost World. Like, sorry. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot care less about Sonic leaks because, you know, the proof's in the pudding. Until I see them make a good 3D Sonic game, then whatever. You can say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. Lost World was received badly, so they made Forces, which was supposed to be a return to Generations Unleashed, but it was rushed out the door, and
I don't know about that.
it was rushed. So there was this thing they did. So the Hedgehog engine was made for Sonic Unleashed. It was supposed to be the game engine going forward for all Sonic games.
Yeah.
But Sonic Unleashed ran terribly. So they kept nerfing the engine. They kept taking out features that made the Hedgehog engine look really good. Generations has less complex global illumination and less complex lighting and motion blur, so it ran better. But for Lost World, they were like, hey, we want this game to be 60 FPS. Let's remove everything from the Hedgehog engine, including the code that lets us stream long levels, because, you know, Sonic's not that fast anymore. We don't need that. So
Defining characteristic or anything, whatever.
So they, in making Hedgehog Engine 2, they based it on the version from Lost World. They managed to reincorporate most of the advanced graphical techniques from the original Hedgehog engine.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see, there's a demonstration with a sphere, and you can see that the Hedgehog engine 2 is better, like visually. It makes better quality visuals than Hedgehog engine 1. But they don't have the artistic direction to actually deliver on that promise. And they did not put the code to stream in long levels in the engine. And that is why Sonic Forces levels are a minute long.
Yeah.
So they're probably moving forward with Hedgehog Engine 2 because it is a very good engine. But I believe because people are just tired of Boost, people keep complaining about Boost, they're just going to bite the bullet, get rid of Boost forever, and go back to a slower 3D Sonic so they don't have to worry about being a minute long.
I really wish they kind of went back to the Lost World style of play, just without like the run button.
Wait, what do you like about Lost World's gameplay?
I think it's really cool. I think there's like a lot of potential. I just think like Lost World's issue is that the levels are fucking terrible.
Yeah,
but the
Lost
actual
World,
the actual game feel is like really good.
It had a decent concept trying to make Sonic Control more like a racing game, but I don't know. I don't think it paid off.
Yeah, the levels were really bad.
Yeah, the levels are fucking horrible.
But like,
and
it was really
nerfed they nerfed the Hedgehog engine in that game so bad that it looks like literally a Wii game. It looks like Mario Galaxy, which is that's not a good thing for an HD system.
It really, really makes me sad because it's also like the closest we got to Sonic Extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad day.
I mean,
but yeah, I feel like the reverence for the adventure games is mostly nostalgia. I think they're good times. They are very enjoyable games.
I'm tired.
They're fucking terrible.
I'm so tired of this slander. I'm not even joking.
Even at the time, though, like, once again, I was in college when they came out because I'm old, but like they weren't groundbreaking or great games.
Yeah.
It wasn't received. They weren't received the same way that Mario 64 was received. It wasn't like, oh my god, Sonic finally made this transcendent translation into 3D. It was more like, oh my god, we missed Sonic because it's been so long, and these are good games. I won't say they're bad games, especially for the time. They didn't really age that well.
So the thing,
they're not great.
Yeah, they're not great. I exaggerate their quality. They are better than a lot of games at the time, but they're not the pinnacle that people keep making them out to be.
Oh, okay. It's not like the pinnacle game, no. But it's like, granted,
they're better than most games that came after it until Unleashed, but I don't think that I don't think that they should be what you want to go back to. I think you should want to move forward.
3D,
yeah.
The other 3D game titles that have come out after Adventure, not Adventure and Adventure 2, not counting like freaking actually I would say Adventure 2 is kind of a little bit way more similar to the way that more modern Sonic games play, because like here's your level, play through it, and like so like this now it just use the monocle to have boost, of course. So like Sonic Adventure 2 is like definitely like the one that like I guess kind of like starts the trail of like, hey, every game kind of Sonic game is gonna be like in this way, like where it's like, hey, you're going to level like that. But I granted I didn't play games of that time because I wasn't born at that time, and what consoles I had was very different from you guys who actually had all the older consoles as well. I didn't play Sonic Adventure till 2012, and I really liked it. Not because, and I don't think it's like, I still like Unleashed and Generations, but those are different kind of games. Whereas like the way that Adventure still plays amongst all of its characters except for Big, it's still very fun to me.
No, that's the best part of the game. I'm kidding.
I feel like Lost World I feel like conceptually Lost World is good. It's just the level design is bad and the controls are still a little clunky for what they wanted. Yeah. But I think it was a good attempt, if that makes sense, you know?
It was a decent concept on paper. The thing is, I am very wary about them trying to go back to the adventure formula and trying to build upon that, because we fucking got that.
Here's the thing. I know it's been memed to death because it's like, oh, haha, like you generic gaming YouTuber says like Sonic had a rocky jump into 3D. And as much as Sonic fans are in like pure just denial about whenever anyone says that shit, the fact of the matter is that Sega literally spent like a fucking decade trying to get Sonic working in 3D because no one at Sega knew how to get it like good. There are so many.
It's a hard concept.
They're like from everything from like Sonic Mars to Extreme to like fucking 3D Blast. Like there are so many instances of Sega trying to make Sonic working in 3D, and they just fucking couldn't. And the fact that like Adventure like doesn't really hold up and doesn't have that same level as like of Mario 64's level of like, oh man, like these controls are fucking perfect. Like the fact that is just a testament. And then the fact that like even after the adventure games came out, they had to keep trying to switch up the formula, and it continuously did not work. Heroes is a bad game. Don't at me. It's like, yeah, like Sonic in 3D is just something that they've always had a problem with, and they've never been able to nail it down proper, because even if they get something right, something else goes horribly wrong.
Well, like,
So like,
I slightly disagree with what you're saying, because like, well, not like, because like they do change it up like every 3 game, but the thing is that like, they change what gimmick you have to deal with, like the way that the levels are designed at least are almost kind of still the same.
No.
Is Colors any good? I never played Colors.
okay, so
But I
before
hear
we get to
are
colors,
fun.
before we
Okay,
get to colors, the problem is, so for a few games they were doing the Adventure 2 style of just level to level. They kept trying to change it up with, new gimmicks. You have 3 characters. Oh, you have multiple paths. You can go to different levels.
Yeah.
And then they went back to Adventure 1. And they made the most infamously bad Sonic game
Right. Yeah.
in existence. And I don't know if people actually realize what they're saying when they want them to go back to Adventure 1.
I don't want them to go all the way back. I don't know, because like I don't think there's anything wrong with Adventure 1. Personally, I don't necessarily see what many of the other issues that people have. I guess like I like the way it controls. I don't like the way Adventure 2 controls. Strangely, I guess the only issue is like I guess like having to go around to levels or something like that, like finding where the levels are sometimes. That's like really my only issue.
Yeah. I don't think the hub world's a good idea. I think level to level is the way to go.
I have not said that Sonic cannot work in 3D. I'm just saying that Sega has consistently over the course of like 20 fucking years has had
It's hard to
like
crack.
a lot of issues still, like to this day they are still trying to perfect that formula, but at the very end there still always is like a massive asterisk on the actual game itself, because even if they get the gameplay right, something else takes like a weird toll, like even Unleashed, which could be the closest to like actually being like the best 3D Sonic game, still has the fucking werehog segments.
Yeah, like there's no reason, I feel like, for a lot of the gimmicks that they're doing. And when it comes to the transition from 2D to 3D, it's more important to get the spirit of the game, I think, than to actually, because 2D Sonic is this momentum-based platforming that doesn't really translate into 3D.
So
But if you look at Mario 64 to Super Mario World, that game has nothing to do with anything from Mario. Like, really, he has a health bar. He doesn't have any of the Mario power-ups. Like, I think right now people associate 3D Mario so much with Mario, but once again, as somebody that was there, it's a really cool game, but it's basically an entirely different IP with Mario trappings on it. but it still has, I guess, the spirit of Mario. And another example of that is like Ninja Gaiden from 2D to 3D. They're just still really good and hard action games. That's really the through line. That, and once again, the visuals.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you have like Metroid and Zelda, which were more.
The through line should be like conserving momentum and platforming real good, but they decided that the through line is going really fast. So they've been trying to do that for the past 2 decades, and it just does not feel great to play, I don't think. Because like in 3D Sonic, instead of building up your speed, you have boost pads that take you from 0 to 100. And for me, the boost games are different in that regard because they still have those boost pads on occasion, but you're in control of that. It's not a part of the level. You have to decide when you need to boost and when you need to conserve that and not boost. And Unleashed got the closest to making going really fast work in 3D because all of those levels are designed around lateral movement and not full 3D movement. It's about figuring out how your positioning should be left and right. So it simplifies that back down to a 2D game. But with that line of logic, it's not a 3D game anymore. So
like some of the best
why bother?
Some of the best segments for the 3D stages and generations were when they made it 2D. But then what's the point? Like, and by the way, Starstorm, I'm not saying that saying Sonic and Adventure 2 aren't a good base. I'm not saying that that's not true and that this game couldn't be amazing going back to an adventure style. I'm just saying I personally am not believing it's going to be good until I see it because they've been so hit or miss. They really, if they want to make
the
it
issue
like adventure,
the
really
issue has
make it...
the issue has less to do with the gameplay mechanics and just Sonic Team being generally incompetent.
Yes,
like that's really what it comes down to. That's why,
like I said, Lost World sounds like a great idea. It's just the execution was bad.
Yeah.
So like Unleashed happened. People generally were in agreement that the daytime stages were really good, but it was a really bad game. Critically, at least, I think it's fine. But it didn't go over well because it was unpolished and the frame rate was horrible and it had the nighttime stages. Then Colors happened and there was this kind of thing where I believe it's vastly overrated because it delivered on the promise of only having those daytime style levels. But the thing is, Colors has like 8 levels, and then the rest of the game is replaying sections from those levels with certain gimmicks to pad out the runtime, and it's not a great game because of that. It's the thing is because they keep focusing on going fast. They have to make these really long levels, and it's not economical for game development to make these long levels because you spend so much time making a long level that you can't make more levels. So you end up either with Adventure 1 where you reuse the same 8 or so levels. I believe there's actually 10, maybe, for the entire game. Or you end up with Adventure 2 where there are like a few levels where you go fast, and then the rest of the game is this completely different gameplay style that nobody really likes.
This might be a hot take, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I think what Sonic desperately needs is like a Miyamoto type figure who is just like, this is just what I want. This is what I want, like, from a new Sonic game. Like no inherent politics in regards to like what can we do to please the fans? Like how it's like no just like I have a fucking idea. Let's commit to it.
I wish the Sonic developers were as confident as the Mario developers, because they made Mario Sunshine. It sucked, and they're like, let's make a better game. And
Yeah.
they didn't give a shit that people wanted them to return to the 64 style. They made fucking Mario Galaxy. Everybody loves Mario Galaxy.
I think, yeah, I'm agreeing with you because like I know like this is kind of like a different thing completely. Sort of like, there was that interview. What was it? Like a while ago about like, well, like why can't I play certain stages, like do certain things in Splatoon? And I was like, well, we want you to play this game like a certain type of way. And for when it comes to Sonic, it very much seems like Sonic Team and like what's the dude? I can't remember his name.
Because I feel like I'm sorry. There was like a pause.
Takashi Iizuka?
Yeah, Takashi Iizuka, yeah. I think they care way too, well, not care way too much because it's a good thing to care about what your fans want, but they take the fan input very seriously and they have a lot of discouragement about what they do because I don't know about original, but Unleashed has the warehouse because they were afraid that the main game, if it was just the daytime stages, the game would be too short and people wouldn't want to pay for it.
Having a good 10-hour game is better than having an awful 30-hour game. I know how AAA development obsesses over game time. Like that's another story in general. But like many games can be short and then have replayability, and then you can try to get better times. You can try to platinum it, this or that. But like, what is this obsession with making a game 50 hours when I'm playing fucking Jedi Outcast or something and I'm on the 35-hour mark? I'm like, this game was super fun and I am ready for it to end. I've done this and I'm ready to move on to something else. That, I know that's a separate issue, but like, sorry.
So like, I agree with you. I think the different thing though is that like because it's like granted I played the PS2 version, so like what they do is that like they have like a lot of challenge stages in that game. So like the way that it is kind of different from the PS3 and Xbox 360 version. Like a whole world is missing for the PS2 and Wii version. So like, but the thing is that if it was just the nighttime, if the nighttime stages were removed and it was just the daytime stages, the game would probably not. I feel like he would be right in the sense that people probably wouldn't agree that would think that how much they're getting from the game for how much they're paying is not completely equivalent because the whole thing about Sonic is going fast.
That's what happened with Generations, actually.
Oh, wait, it's the same thing as well. Like that's why they have classics.
Yeah.
I like as much as I agree with the idea that like no fan base is like a complete hive mind that all shares the same opinion. Like that, I agree. I get that. But the idea that Sonic fans know what they want is like not true in the slightest. And I think
it's not.
And like to me, Sonic Forces, I feel like the issue with Sonic Forces had more to do with the fact that they were trying to please everyone, which you just can't. It was trying to please classic fans, and it didn't. It was trying to please modern fans, and it didn't. And then it was trying to please people who were like, oh, what if I could be my own Sonic? And like, it didn't. And
No, it delivered on that front. Sonic Forces delivered to the kind of people that obsess about Sonic, and that is the only people that it delivered to. And little kids. Little kids probably had a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
I don't want to. Hold on.
Hey guys, let's work towards wrapping this up because
no, of course.
Yes, of course. We went out of here. I've been talking a lot and not really making a concise point. But my point is that they keep focusing on going super fast in 3D. And that is a problem because they finally figured out how to go super fast in 3D, and it was completely uneconomical. So now, going back to that original adventure style, they have this basis where it was originally meant to be an RPG type game, so you have these towns and all these people you can talk to, and this like thing where you have to find every level. Going back to that is not a very good idea because I don't know if people would think that's like good design, because I've seen people go back to Adventure, and I've seen many people go back to that, play it for the first time even, and not be a fan of it.
See,
And
this is the issue with what Starstrom just like, or Starstorm just posted in chat, because it's like, I don't get why he says, I don't, or they say, I don't get why Sega doesn't focus on the people that actually like a certain type of game and then make that game for them. They try to appeal to classic fans and people that don't even like Sonic, and it's because the classic games are untouchable. People still really like Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles and CD. Those games are like those are the pinnacle of Sonic. I don't care, whatever. They're the ones that people really like. And time and time again, it's like, wow, they put out a new 2D Sonic and it actually kind of manages to be decent. As I said, the problem is like, here's what it comes down to. I want to play a good Sonic game. I want a Sonic game that is good. And when I say that, I don't mean like every Sonic game is bad and I'm a cynical asshole. I mean, I want to play a new Sonic game and go, that was good. I don't want to say it was good, but... Because that has happened with like nearly every Sonic game in the last like decade and a half. Is just like, it is good, but like XYZ thing kind of fucking sucked and hampered everything. Like, I don't think the issue, as I said before, I don't think
Adventure a true follow up to Adventure that really takes the fan notes to see if actually that is a good game. I don't know, because yeah,
maybe it'll work.
Yeah.
My point all along has been, I just want them to do something new and try to find something that works and doesn't make the game an hour long or doesn't pad it with a bunch of filler.
I think they need to come at the perspective that they don't need to. I think here's how they should do it. They, like, in regards to making a new game, they shouldn't go, we need to make a new Sonic game. We need to, like, continue the legacy. No. They need to, like, shut themselves off from all previous concepts and previous ideas and just go, all right, we're going to make a game about a fast blue hedgehog named Sonic. What, like, go. And just start from complete, just, like, torched earth.
Yeah, so I think the problem is that it's always been that he's been going too fast in 3D. Like, in Adventure, you fucking peel out almost immediately. And it's that I wish there was a more, like, gradual sense of momentum in these games, because it's always like been like 0 to 100 in the 3D games, and they've always controlled kind of badly because of that.
In regards to like your points of like the fan input of games, I feel like that you do have a good point. I feel like kind of like it's also unintentionally and sometimes intentionally Sonic Team's fault as well, because if you take Mario for instance, we have the 2D games and the 3D games, and then you have like all these spin-offs like the sports games, the racing games, the party games, and like those kind of some of those the characters might come into different places in like the 2D and 3D games maybe, but like the mechanics kind of stay where they belong. Whereas for Sonic, the 2D games have like almost always been fine and have evolved. So we had the original classic games, then you have the advanced games, then you have the Rush games, then you have Sonic 4, and then you have Mania, which goes back to the classic thing. But it's still like all the like the advanced and Rush games still like are fine because they all build on each other in succession. But for the 3D games, there's so many different play styles that they've created across the entire thing. And it's not the same thing as Mario, where it's like, okay, this belongs here, this belongs here. But it's more like, hey, these are all things that are part of Sonic, but they were there for just that part, and now we're not sure what to bring again. So it's like you had Adventure, then Adventure 2, and then it's like, sure, we'll keep the Adventure 2 of level to level type of thing for a while, but now let's change the gameplay up of like, okay, you have Shadow who has a gun. Now you have you have the Sonic Heroes gameplay. You have the then let's go back to Adventure for a little while for 06, and then let's go back away from that, and now we have like the secret rings and Black Knight, which granted those have kind of stayed by themselves, because even though they are like actually in the whole world of Sonic, their gameplay has never like been back.
Secret Rings was kind of fun. I'm gonna have to say, I don't know. I kind of like that game. Yeah, like it was so weird and dumb, but it was like, it was from that time where everything in the Wii had like dumb motion controls, and I don't know. It has a charm to it. I like.
I have a lot of trouble playing it, but yeah. Anyway, like,
anyways, yeah.
You have like Sonic, you have like the Sonic Riders games, and you have like the Team Sonic Race games. Like, sure, it's like, okay, what now? You have like all of Sonic's friends back. Can we please, like, and then the friends are gonna be like, hey, can we please get these characters not in just these spin-off games, but also in the main games? Like, and then you have like stuff like Lost World. Like, okay, sure, like the parkour mechanic is cool, but where's that? Like, you've literally been building up this boost gameplay.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with the Sonic fan base. They don't know what they want because there's so many of them saying different things. We want Sonic's friends back. Oh my god, I hate Sonic's friends.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah, I am
giving them.
They need to pick a lane
and
go with it.
Listen. I heard this really good anecdote from an actor who was like, hey, the acting director kept giving me all these confusing directions about how to do a line. So I just got really frustrated with that, and I just did what I wanted to do. And then the acting director was like, perfect, love it. And it wasn't even remotely what they said. And that's the thing. Just do it. And if you do it good, people will say this is what they wanted. This is great.
Yeah. I don't know, man. They should also just make Sonic Mania 2. Like, it's just they should just make another 2D one.
That
badass, bro.
I think they should still make. I don't want them to run it into the ground, New Super Mario Brothers style. However, yeah, like, why not make another 2D Sonic games? And I'm not saying to not make a 3D game as well in parallel with a different team, but like, people like that 2D game. It was really well received. Why wouldn't you do one?
They've been doing the 2D Sonic games really faltered.
Listen, Spazzy, it's because it sold worse than Sonic Forces.
Okay, I am asking once again to end this podcast.
The last
That's
thing
fair.
I'll say is that they need to just restart Sonic. Like, take them, like Colin was saying, take them to like a room. Like, hey, we need to, instead of think of all these Sonics, we need to think of what do we want to make Sonic. And
yeah, just black out the windows.
They need to take away his arms, give him back,
lock the doors,
and then have his like arms also be blue. And he runs around not being able to talk like an Adventure Time character.
Oh my god!
With his book bag.
Okay, let's not. That's kind of mean.
Let's make the first avant-garde Sonic.
I actually do like that video. I do. I think it's a unique take that, even though I wouldn't like it for a real Sonic game, I still think it's actually a really cool idea.
It's a good video. It's
I
don't agree with the idea.
That Mario 64 prioritized being a good 3D game over being a translation of Mario. That's what Sonic needs.
Yeah, exactly. I think they just need to make a good game, and I personally don't want them to do adventure, don't want them to do boost anymore, because nobody can decide what they like the best. Do something fucking different and try to get people to be all on board with that.
Adventure, because and do like a real true follow. That's fine, but then stick with it. Don't be scared because it sucks and then go back to boost and then do something else. They need to really just pick a lane and then just work on it. Just make a good game. That's the thing.
Yeah, Sonic Team, the time's running out, because if you fuck up again, you're gonna become the Puyo Puyo team. That's just how it be. It's how it be.
What happened to the Puyo Puyo team?
No, I'm just saying.
They're Sonic Team.
Yeah, it's Sonic Team.
It's just Sonic Team.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, Sonic Team makes Puyo Puyo.
I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, it's the one franchise. It's the one franchise they're competent in.
Oh. Where's Billy Hatch?
Oh god. anyway, I think that's a wrap. Oh yeah, Balan Wonderworld fucking sucks.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to talk about
Oh
that.
yeah.
I freaking-
It was a mobile game. It's
I just wanted to- I just
clearly
wanted to-
supposed to be a mobile game.
I just wanted to leave
and
it
then
at that.
Square Enix is like, hey, let's put it on every platform, and also not change any of the mechanics that were designed for a mobile game.
I
Great.
don't know if it's supposed to be. I bought the Famitsu. The Famitsu game is supposed to be coming out for this month, and like I'm looking through it. It has a Battle Wonderworld section, and like the 2D art looks so amazing. Like the screenshots of the game look so good.
Okay.
And then I remember the demo, and it's like, wow.
All right, gamers, that is
Yeah,
that.
it's a wrap.
That's
We
a
talked
wrap.
about Sonic so much that I'm gonna add him to the thumbnail after this is over.
All right.
SpongeBob in there.
Yeah, put SpongeBob in there. Put a wholesome 100 Keanu Bush in
Keanu
there.
Reeves, Tumbleweed.
Anyway,
Alright.
I'd like to thank all of you
Have a good one.
for
Thank you
joining
all for
us.
watching.
Links down below as usual. Like, subscribe, Patreon. Bye.